I know a lot of
It's
people
so
like want to say they like, oh, it's overhyped, it's overhyped. I'm like, you clearly just don't read the manga. Let's just be honest. Like, you say it's overhyped, you don't read the manga, point blank, period. Like, you don't understand how good Jujutsu Kaisen is, and I will die on this hill. It is the best new gen anime if you want to consider a new gen anime top three, big three, whatever. It is the best anime of the new century.
I also believe we really need to think about words and what words mean. Like overhyped, underhyped. Like I don't think
Overhyped because
oh,
everyone is liking it, and also all these companies keep
I
freaking doing
don't think that
collaborations with it. It got a
there
collab.
was
It
a
got a collab with
reason,
Fortnite before One Piece. Like
Joe.
it went.
Listen, I'm not hitting on JJK. I know what you're
So
talking
okay,
about.
great. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go down this slippery slope
I
real
thought
quick
we were
before we
done with
ask
that, B.
questions.
We said we were
No,
done with
we
that in
not.
the
I
last
know. I
episode.
know.
We said we were
I
done with
know.
that.
But we got Blake here, so
You're
I'm gonna ask
you're
Blake.
you're you're in the confessional booth right here. What do you have to say about Jujutsu Kaisen?
No,
It's
it's not
It's
even
not
Jujutsu
JJK.
Kaisen.
It's not
Do
JJK.
you?
I enjoy JJK.
Oh, Judge K is great. Do you think that Demon Slayer is overhyped?
Yes. Yes. I do. I'm sorry. I do. Again, I will make
If
my
okay,
explanation again. It is quality mid. I think it is quality mid. It is up there. I enjoyed the show.
you wanted.
I loved the manga. It was great. I read it through. I had issues with it. It was not perfect, but I read it through. I read it faster than you did, P. I really enjoyed the manga.
What that mean? What that mean?
I'm
Okay,
just,
Because
I'm
okay,
just
okay.
saying, I
If it
really
if it
enjoyed it. I just think, I think, I think what it is it like we've talked about. It has brought a whole new generation into anime.
I was about to
That's
say
what
that.
it is. It
Yep.
has brought a whole new generation. So all these new people
Naruto
who
did the same thing, and
I
nobody
got
ever
you,
says that that's overhyped.
but it's part of the. Listen, we're not talking about Naruto right now. I'm not doing that.
I'm
With
just saying.
Demon Slayer brought a whole new generation into anime, which I am grateful for because it's allowed a lot of things to happen for the anime community. It's also caused a lot of issues, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I think because of so many people, that was their first anime as far as the new gen anime and what's going on now with COVID and stuff. It just like that was the first thing they knew, and they haven't really seen anything before this, and so they think it's like the greatest thing since
If
sliced
okay,
bread.
That
if you were
was
going
kids in Naruto, though.
hold up. If you're going by storytelling, overhyped. But
Thank you. Yes.
I will give Demon Slayer the credit. Animation, it is untouched.
Like,
Animation's
I have no
untouched.
problem with
Don't
it.
go to
I have no
Joe's
problem with
Animation's
that.
untouched, dude.
Thank you.
Season
Bro.
3 was rough, but that season 2
But
fight scene,
still,
that season 2
I
fight
don't
scene will
think
live in
season
my
three
head
was
rent free.
rough.
That
Even-
season 2 fight scene, Mugen
Season
Train,
three was
like come on.
great.
even with
Huh?
it being rough, it was still great. Like that's the thing. Like even with it being
Yeah,
rough,
season 3
rough.
was still good.
It was
It was
rough
just a
for Demon
little.
Slayer, but
It was a
still
little.
good.
Like
Again,
getting
I
off
just-
of season 2, dude. Getting off of season 2, going on to season 3 is really hard to compete with.
But
Off of season 2.
A lot of anime do that. Number one, like yeah, not every anime because you have to have time for the story to develop and grow. So not every, even with Attack
Not
on
a
Titan,
season. Not a season 2 though. I would say season 2 is where
season
the.
two
I
of
would say.
Attack on Titan.
But
No,
he's
but
talking
I would
about-
say,
we're
hear me
talking
out.
about
I would
Demon
say where
Slayer.
season 2 in animes usually is where they suffer, not enhance. Season 3 is where Demon Slayer suffered.
Yes.
You know what I
But
mean?
I don't think that's necessarily an issue because if it leans itself to the story to like get a little bit more information to the story, which I think season 3 absolutely did, then I'm okay with that. My biggest thing is that like for Demon Slayer, this generation, it is what Naruto was for the previous generation, and I never, ever,
Why are we having the
ever.
same conversation we've already had multiple times though?
I-
Like
multi-
we've already.
I am
stated all
just
this.
saying, I never hear Naruto as being an overhyped anime, like ever.
But I think people point out
And
Naruto
number
flaws
one-
all the time.
But number one and number two, sometimes I think that we get storylines like does again, and we've talked about this. Does Demon Slayer have like the most complicated storyline? Not at all. But when did every storyline had to be an Attack on Titan?
It doesn't.
Like it doesn't.
No.
Again, and we've talked about this
and
before.
if we really are honest here, does the ending of Attack on Titan did
I'm
it
a
fumble
fan.
the bag? Did it
I'm a
fumble?
fan.
I'm not a
We're
fan,
fans.
dude. I'm not
We're
a fan,
fans.
dude.
I'm a fan.
I'm the fan of the manga ish. The anime, I think I'm just I'm like
I had I didn't have a problem.
I didn't have a problem.
Yeah, I
with
didn't have a
it.
problem.
Not a huge problem. I think it's still great. I'm not like, oh my god, it ruins the whole series. It just
Yes.
kind of puts like
Yeah,
a
no,
nice.
absolutely.
It makes like a little like an ew in my stomach. Only because I think the problem with Attack on Titan is that it took so long to finish.
Yes.
And there was
yeah,
such
no,
a big
agreed.
wait. That
Yes.
was its biggest problem. If it was only like,
Yes,
I don't know, it took 4
1000%.
years of an anime, I think it would be the greatest anime of all time. But because it took so long and the part 1, part 2, part 4 bull,
Yeah.
all that controversy, once you get to that ending, no matter what, most people are going to be unsatisfied.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. And me and Joe have talked about this too. And I'll stand 10 toes down. We are not used to anime endings. So I think like when an anime
That's also
ends,
true.
because we have like such a high like expectation of it ending,
has to be
the
like
fact-
perfection.
It has to be like perfection. And that we rarely get endings, which I thought this ending was good.
I
We
enjoy
rarely
it.
get endings that are just like great. Even if we look at a Code Geass or a Death Note,
I knew you
or
were just
like,
about to say that, bro, because I've
just-
told Joe this. I told Joe my comparison is I think the ending of Code Geass is better than Attack on Titan.
You have said that. He has said that.
Because I think the end of Code Geass is a better representative of what the main character should have done, and I wish I would have saw that through Attack on Titan.
I think they're two different characters, number one.
Yes.
And number two,
But the endings could be similar. The endings could slightly be similar in the self-sacrifice.
But I don't think it would lean itself to like Aaron and like the menace that he is. Like, honestly, if Aaron was to flip and be a good guy, I would be pissed because that is not what his character was.
I mean, he wouldn't have to be. He wouldn't have to be a good guy, but he could still sacrifice in a sense if you're going with like the Code Geass approach.
But I think that's what Lelouch,
like a master plan.
But I think that's the difference between him and Lelouch is that Lelouch, like you could always sense that Lelouch was never like a real villain or a real bad guy. Now, do I think it was like anticlimactic that it ended that way? 100%. I never sensed the fact that he was like a villain's villain. With Aaron, I got villain. When we stepped into season 3 or at the end of season 2, when he's staring out in the water, I was like, villain man. Like, this man is going to kill people.
Dude, I guess you must be a psychic, bro, because I literally thought Lelouch was like villain, dude.
I haven't finished Code Geass still to this day.
Oh, we can't say anything. We can't say anything. We can't say anything. He's got to finish it.
It's fine because it's been out for however long. Like I'm not tripping. I'm going to watch it.
Bro, you could finish it. I promise you could finish it like a week. Easily,
I know
finish it in a week.
I know I could.
If anyone needs a recommendation, go watch Code Geass. Literally, it's so fast. You can finish it like this.
Okay, sorry. We kind of
because
we have to talk about anime. This is an anime podcast, guys.
Yeah, I'm tired of explaining myself on Demon Slayer, bro.
Never.
P, we just said in the last episode we were done.
Here's the thing: is I don't necessarily disagree with either of you. I think they're both things can be true. But if we are gonna like, okay, let's take it the bigger picture. Anything that's called anything that is overhyped, is it solely because of popularity of the masses?
That is what I think people give the definition to.
Yeah, okay. I think that's the main component to it being overhyped. I think it's that there are so many.
Because I feel like we as a collective are gonna take overhyped as in, you know, we're looking at the details of the story, we're looking at the animation, we're going analytic with it, but I think the mass that say something is overhyped are coming from a perspective of because everyone's talking about it and everyone likes it.
I think for me, that's a part of it. I think the bigger part is not only is everybody talking about it, but everybody is putting it up here. Like I don't have a problem with the whole world talking about a show. Like we can all talk about how great Demon Slayer is, but I think like everyone, I genuinely think like Demon Slayer is here, but the masses have it all the way up here, and I just don't agree with that.
But to argue that,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I'm saying, but again, it's because of it brought so many new people into it, and so all the new people have it up here. Are there some people who've been around that have been around with anime for a long time that also have it up there? Absolutely, but the mass majority of those people are people who just started with Demon Slayer.
But sometimes that's why I think when we get into like our hypocritical mode, because I think people, and again, not to like slander or bring up Naruto, but I think people did or still do the same thing. Like Naruto does not have the best story, and we've been through this. Naruto doesn't have the best
100%.
story. It was dropped in Shippuden. Like there was a lot of issues with Naruto as a whole, but people will still will put that as their top one, top two, top three. The same with Demon Slayer. It has its issues, but because like it was like that anime for a lot of people, yeah, people are going to put it at their top one and two. My biggest argument is that we see the argument with Demon Slayer as it's overhyped and like all of that stuff, but we do not get that same for Naruto, which I think Naruto is incredibly overhyped.